Hi, everybody. This is Bonnie Barker with Bonnie Bay Crochet, and it's Friday Fun today. Yay. And there's so many people in the chat already. So let me go ahead and say hello to some of you all. I see that, make sure I have my computer on mute. Yes. Looks like Janet and Lynn are having a great conversation. That is so cool that you guys can be friends through this. And we have Mel's Kitchen from California. Is it Aquanian Harris, if I'm saying that right, from Texas? And um, let's see, Mel's Kitchen says it's so awesome how crochet has become so popular. Yeah, it is. It is. Let me tell you, when I was a 7-year-old in elementary school carrying a hook and yarn with me, that was the last thing kids wanted to do back then. And my friend, my dear friend Becky and I were quite the oddballs, I guess, because we were learning how to do this. But anyway, it's nice to see that, with the internet and all that, things have really picked up. We have Pat Dancer in Texas watching, and Donna from Arizona. And Susan says, most of these live videos don't have live chats. I'm noticing today something about kids. Is this the setting I have to change, or is this the setting that the YouTuber channel has chosen? Um, Susan, that's kind of complicated. That has to do with a law that was passed by the FCC, I believe it was last year, where YouTube can get severely penalized. I guess broadcasters in general, if they're not very clear about things having regards to children. I mean, I don't totally understand it, but I have to emphatically state that this is not for kids. Um, just in order for this to happen. Although I will say that I don't believe there's anything that's ever been discussed here that's inappropriate, but I don't know. It's just the way this world is trying to govern things, I guess, but I'm not sure it really works. We're going to talk about this in just a minute and I'll explain why it doesn't work. But anyway, we have Brenda Rayburn in the chat from Virginia. Hey, Brenda. And let's see. Um, yeah, Pat and Jan are having a discussion about this child-friendly thing. Technically, my videos are not child-friendly. If I list them as being child-friendly, um, that would put me out of not being able to have AdSense revenues from the views generated. It's really complicated. I can't even go there, but I'm just saying in their opinion, no. In my opinion, I've been a teacher of young children for many years and homeschool mom for on nearly 20. And everything I do is kid friendly just about. So, and I try to talk that way and try to keep it positive. But technically I have to say no because the AdSense revenue demands that. So if you're as confused as I am, just raise your hand. But anyway, we try to keep it real positive here and don't like to get edgy, at least not intentionally. We have Brenda Mack from Idaho and Frances, my friend from New Zealand. Um, she says 1/4 to 6 on a very warm, okay, 1/4 to 6 on a very warm New Zealand day. Hope everyone is doing well. That's right. You guys are already at dinner time. You're so far ahead of us, at least on the East Coast here. Yeah, and Brenda says to Francis, send some of that warm weather our way. Definitely. Um, yeah, it's actually kind of a little on the warmer side here this morning. It's in the low 40s. Some of that snow is starting to melt, which is kind of nice. But I think we're going to be getting some more weather later on in the week, but I'm not going to worry about that. Cynthia says it's a gloomy day, so I'm staying home working on a prayer shawl today in North Carolina. Very good, Cynthia. What a good thing to do. We have Lynn Guider in the chat. Hey, friend, such an encouraging sister online. And Pat's wondering if anybody else is from Texas out there. Oh no, Frances said she had a bottom wisdom tooth out on Tuesday. Ugh. I'm sorry to hear that, Frances. Anything teeth related is never fun for me. And Janet is not doing well. It looks like Janet Lowe says she has COVID pneumonia. You're the only people I get to talk to. Janet, I am so sorry to hear that. I am going to have to hold on a second. I need to write that down. because I am not going to forget in the chat. Let me go ahead and put you on our little list here for a couple days. All right, Janet, you are officially on my on my yellow sticky for prayer requests for this week. So and beyond. And let's see. And Lynn says she's working on my Brana barley poncho. Ooh, send a picture when you can, Lynn. I would love to see that. That's one of my favorites. And what? Let me go ahead and show. I tell you what she's talking about. Well, it's a poncho in my Cable Crochet Made Easy book, and it's also on my Love Crafts page. So if you want to look that up, it's just hard to really grab things right now and find that. But thanks for letting me know about that. Um, and thank you, ladies, for praying about those wisdom teeth that Janet is dealing with. That's got to be tough. Um, let's see. Yeah, yeah. Francis, thank you for your prayer. She's like to Janet Lowe, I guess, about the COVID. Hugs and prayers from a relatively safe New Zealand. Scary times, but God is on the throne and in total control. Yes, yes, He is. And yeah, I got some things to share with you today, and I can tell you why I can do it with a smile on my face, because I know that somebody bigger than me is in control of all this mess of a world that we live in. Um, yeah, and you guys are so kind to care for each other. We have Brat's mom in the chat. She says, "Good morning, Bonnie and everyone from sunny and frigid Southwest Chicago suburbs, Burr." Yeah, well, welcome to our little chat here, and I hope you can stay warm in Chicago. Wow. Um, and we have Tammy from Oregon, and let's see. Pat says she got her first COVID vaccine on Tuesday. Yay. Yeah, be careful, guys. That's great. Just make sure that if when you get the second shot, from what I've heard from local relatives, my sister actually, her name is Brenda too. She got her second shot. She works in a medical facility, but she got her second COVID shot, and she was down for the count for about a day. So just know that that second shot has kind of a kick to it. But thankfully, she's doing fine and she's back at work today. So yeah, and I have a couple other people I know of that have gotten the second shot, and it does have a bit more of a, like I say, a bit more of a kick to it. So just make sure that you don't have a whole lot planned the day or two after that, just so you have time for your body to recover and to continue making those antibodies. Um, we have Wanda Gordon says, "Hey, Miss Bonnie and everyone, received my Crochet World magazine this week. Thanks again." Yay, Wanda! So glad, so glad. Thank you for just for tuning in and being eligible for that. And we have Esther, one of our moderators in the chat. Hey, Esther, thanks for being there for us. And I know Hannah is there as well. Thank you, Hannah, for serving us this morning, sweetheart. Both of you, I so appreciate all that you do for us. Um, and let's see. Tracy Fowler says, "Good morning. I couldn't be here last few weeks and really missed the time with everyone. Looking forward to hanging out." Yeah, you guys make my week, that you really do. And I'm feeling a lot better just here seeing that you're there in the chat with me. Um, we have a lot of people saying hey to each other, and Michelle Bartley, and let's see. Da, 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 da. Yeah, looks like oops, I thought I was caught up for a second there. But let me see. Got a lot more comments. I'm not sure why it doesn't load faster in my computer, but maybe it knows I can't keep up. So, wow, a lot of comments, guys. I so appreciate that. Um, well, looks like I'm lost in the molasses swamp here on these comments. I probably am not going to get to everybody today, as seems to be the case these days. Well, let me try to find out where I am. Everybody's saying hey to each other, which is amazing. Well, let me go ahead into this thing. I really don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but since you all are involved, I need to mention, um, yesterday morning, I awoke to the fact of learning that somehow my Bonnie Babe Crochet Facebook page had been compromised. Not sure exactly how that happened, why it happened, But all I know is that many of you got messages from me telling you that I'm going to send you $1,000 bill and a free sweater. Well, I hate to disappoint, and I love sending out free stuff. You know that I can afford to send out. And a lot of times when I mean, like the Crochet World magazines were complimentary of Crochet World magazines. But I took care of the postage. But most of the other stuff I hand out comes out of my personal budget. It's not from a company saying give this away and promote this or promote that. It's stuff that I generally take out of my living expenses, okay, or my business expenses to do. And I do that with lots of joy in my heart. However, there are a couple reasons why I can't send you all $1,000 bill. First of all, they stopped the Bureau of Engraving stopped printing them back in 1969, and they're no longer in circulation. And secondly, even if I could, I don't have enough time in the rest of my life to crochet you all a sweater. And I mean, this gets really comical. And thirdly, the message that was sent out was so horribly written. I would hopefully think that you would know me better than that, and that my English skills, while not perfect, are at least 1,000 times better than the message that was sent out. I mean, whoever the scammer is, they screenshot a picture of me, a picture of my page, and they sent it to a lot of people. And I just want to apologize for that. I had nothing to do with that. So, and please, if you did click on anything, it's not the end of the world. Just make sure that you go ahead and change your password on Facebook. And for the record, I don't like to ding people on purpose, but just to let you all know, I'm not happy with Facebook right now. And I really don't care if they find out that I'm saying this, because I have given them about 3 chances personally to clean this up and to admit that this is a bad post and they should take it down. They have not done so. In fact, they've reviewed it and they've said they find nothing bad about, their community standards have no problem with what's going on. So I don't understand why that's the case. Many of my friends, many of you sent them a message saying that this is not her. This is not Bonnie Bay Crochet. And I so thank you for taking the time. And I know it's a bit of aggravation to do that. Um, but but anyway, I am rethinking Facebook. I'm still going to be there for a little while longer. While I look at my options, I'm seriously considering doing something different. And if I do, when I do, you guys will be the first to know about it. I'm going to just give them a little more of a chance and hope that they can rectify this and at least realize that somebody is masquerading as me, and that is false. That is misleading. That is scandalous. So anyway, not to overreact, but my thing that really bothered me the most about this is that they're not just trying to hurt me, they're hurting you. I mean, they're reaching out and they're trying to get your information. They're trying to promise you something that's not going to happen. And in so doing, they want you to compromise your information with them to some degree. And if I ever do give out $1,000 bills, which I probably never will, because they don't, like I said, they don't even print them. If I were to do that, I would be doing it right here, and I would do it live. You would see me doing it. And I promise you that's not going to happen anytime soon, until the position of crochet designer becomes on par with, brokers and lawyers and doctors. And that's probably not going to happen in my lifetime. So I'm probably not going to be giving away large sums of cash. Um, anyway, I spent way too much time on that. Sorry about that. But I want to tell you, I usually save this for the end to try to encourage, but I need this encouragement. And this is why I can still have a smile on my face, even in the midst of an evil world that's just not fair on so many levels. But this is why, okay? Well, there's 2 reasons. First, Jesus said to them, I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me shall not hunger, and whoever believes in me shall never thirst. I mean, he is the reason. And here is another. This is the verse I was thinking of in particular. in regards to what's going on now. Um, and this is the reason, and this goes for the scammers, for people who are evil, who like to hide behind computer screens, who like to hide behind Facebook posts and Twitter posts anonymously, and saying all kinds of evil things or all kinds of things that just upset people all the time, which is why our country is largely divided. And this is why I can still have peace and joy. And this is the writings of Paul in Romans 14, starting the second part of verse 10. For we will all stand before the judgment seat of God, for it is written, as I live, says the Lord, every knee shall bow to me, and every tongue shall confess to God. So then each of us will give an account of himself to God. And if that doesn't make you a little bit nervous, you're not human. I mean, reading that makes me a little bit nervous, except the fact that I have an advocate, which is Christ my Lord, who is going to be there with me, who has covered my offenses. Okay. Um, but also, I just want to just be clear about this verse. It doesn't say every tongue that believes shall confess. No, no, no. Every tongue shall confess to God. It doesn't matter if you believe it now or not. I mean, either this is true or it's not. Okay. I believe that it is. But even if people like scammers who don't believe that this is true, well, they're going to be standing one day and they're going to give an account for this. And, I don't wish anybody ill. I wish that everybody, comes to know the Lord that I love. That may or may not happen, probably not. But just knowing that we are going to be held account, so are they. That gives me peace. It still makes me mad that they would do this to my friends, though. But anyhow, I probably spent too much time on that. But I just thought it was important enough. There's just so much going on these days that I can't even get into it because this is a happy place. But this is why I have peace and why I still have joy, is because all things will be made right. Justice is going to prevail one day on that day. Whew, okay, I'm gonna get off my preach, guys. I just want to get that off my chest, and golly gee whiz, don't click on anything that you're not familiar with on, anywhere. I know I'm preaching to the choir. I know you know better, but if there are offers that come through Facebook or over the phone or whatever, and they just sound too good to be true, they are. Okay. They are. So anyway, okay, back to you guys. Um, let's see. I think I'm caught up here. So you have oh, Alana is here from Tennessee. Hey, Alana. I feel better now. And Archer Nace is in our chat from good morning from Terry. Okay, Terry. I'm probably never going to remember the name Terry, but hi Terry from Cleveland. And ooh, it looks like it's cold. Chilly 36 for Tracy there. Um, And let's see, I'm going to scroll on down a little bit. Yes, thank you, Brat's mom. She says, don't forget to hit that like button. Yeah, if you can hit that like button, that would be great. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. I promise I'm not a spammer. I don't do a whole lot. And just to let you all know, while we're still talking about the spammer, don't want to give him too much more airtime, but just to let you know, because sometimes I may follow something on my email, and then all of a sudden I'm getting 15 emails just like that from all these other different locations because they sell my name to all their friends who are like-minded, if you know what I'm talking about. And I just want you to know that whenever you sign up for the Bonnie Bay Crochet newsletter, or send me your address because you want a book from me or anything like that, I do not I keep the ones from the newsletter, but you have to give permission for that. I never, ever, ever sell this list to anybody. I will not sell it to a crochet group. I will not, and I have been asked by multiple companies, we want your subscriber list. And I'm like, I know you do, because they're really great people, but you're not getting it. I will not ever. God is my witness. I will never sell that to anybody. So I just want you to know that your information is safe as far as I'm concerned. I don't get into making bucks that way at all. At all. Not that hungry yet. And if I do get that hungry, I'm still not going to do it. Um, okay, I am so sorry. I feel like I'm on a rant today. I don't intend this, but anyhow. We have Alice from Sugar Mountain, North Carolina, and Swati's in our chat with us from sunny LA. Hey, Swati, send us that sun, man. We can use some of that over here on the East Coast. Try to melt some of this snow in the front yard. Our house faces the north, so once we get some snow out there and ice, it takes a long time for that to melt because the sun never gets to that part. And of course, that's the part you have to walk on right before you get into the house. But um, hopefully that the sun will get that melted a bit today. Let's see. We have Barbara in the chat. She says, "Hi, Bonnie. Warming up here in Titusville, Florida." Oh, I love Titusville, Barbara. Love, 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 love the time that we've been able to see rockets launched from there. So much fun there. I guess you guys are used to it though. We have Sandra in the chat. She says, "I pray everyone's doing well. Hope love this time together." Yes, doing well, Sandra. Yep. Oh, we have Julie from Chile, Kentucky. I love Kentucky. And Jean Weber and from Florida, and Judy. Let's see. Judy's down. It looks like Jean is in Florida, and Jacqueline in Los Angeles. Wow, going through my little geography routine here. Let me just see if there are any questions. We have Donine from Saskatchewan, Canada. Wow, I bet you're cold up there, Donine. And let's see. Okay, Hannah's just sent me a question. Thank you, Hannah. Hannah's going to send me the question so that I can try to address that. Marla Reether really likes my shawl and would like to know what pattern it is from South Boston. Okay, well this is the same one I was wearing a couple days ago. This is Abigail's shawl. And this is made out of, I think I showed this to you last week. I've been wearing it all week actually. It's made out of 100% mohair, which looks like it's nothing to wear, but it's actually one of the warmest shawls I have. It's actually very light. You hardly even feel it as far as weight goes, but it's very lightweight. In the book, this is in, okay, here we go. It's in this book, Cable Crochet Made Easy. It's also in my Lovecraft store. And let me show you. Here's another picture using another fabric, the same design. And there's another picture of my beautiful daughter-in-law wearing it with a completely different fiber. So it's one of these things where you can probably do this with a lot of shawls. And oh, here's the Brena barley poncho that Lynn was talking about that she's working on. Again, you can buy these as individual patterns in my Lovecraft store, or you can get a better deal and get the whole book. And these do come with complete video tutorials. I'm not sure why it's taking me so long to find this pattern. Oh, here it is all the way in the back, of course. And this is the same pattern, but using some Nurturing Fibers lace weight. And that was my first experimenting with this, was with the lace weight yarn, which, is very, very fine, very tiny. But I just love the way that one came out. But bottom line is you can use any fiber. Again, it's the Abigail's shawl or scarf. I'll put it back on because we turned off our heat while I do the live and it's a little chilly. But let me go ahead and talk about some crochet, because I know some of you probably went, when's she going to talk about crochet? Talk about everything else. Well, the Doolin Delight sweater wrap. Let me show you how this works. I'll take this one off for now. This will give you quite a shock too. A lot of dry air in our house. This is the sweater wrap. It's basically a shawl with pockets, trimmed in some pineapple lace, and then it has the backing on the back to keep us warm. So let me show you how this would go. I'm gonna stand. Okay, so you can see the back. And the shawl is really comfortable. Yeah, there we go. And so I got these nice little pockets if I need. And this, let's see, where is it? Where's my book? Where's my book? Here we go. Okay, this is an older pattern actually. This is in Contemporary Celtic Crochet. This is one of those things where I don't own the rights to the pattern, so the only way for this pattern is in the book. And let me show you what it looks like, because I did use different yarn. I used it's no longer available. It was discontinued a few years ago. And this is a picture in the book. It's using a DK weight yarn. Originally, it was the Caron Simply Soft Light, not Caron Simply Soft number 4, but it's a number 3. It came out years ago, and it was really nice yarn. I mean, for 100% acrylic, the yarn was fantastic. But for whatever reason, I think because it was a number 3 and number 4, it didn't sell very well in the big box stores. People didn't know what to do with it. I loved it. I made the Hialeah Honey baby blanket with it. And by the way, if you already have this book, or if you're thinking about getting this book, I actually have 2 other designs up on my YouTube channel. The Hialeah Honey, and I think Liffey in a Jiffy which is another stole, is on my YouTube channel. So should you be looking for tutorials to go with it, they are there. So this one is coming on Monday. It's going to be a 2-parter. I'll release one this coming Monday, and then the second part the Monday after that. And one thing that's interesting about this design too is if you don't want the back part, if you don't want the sweater wrap, you know, the backing back here, you don't have to add it. You can just make it, you know, a stole, you know, shawl, big scarf kind of thing instead. So it's really up to you. Part 1 is going to cover the stole, and part 2 is going to cover the backing, the finishing with some of the edging with the buttonholes, I believe, and also the pineapple lace. And there is a stitch I don't have a lot of stitch diagrams in my writings, and I know a lot of people want stitch diagrams. The reason I don't have a lot of them is because a lot of my stitches would be incredibly hard to read, because you're crossing things front and back, and it's really hard to know, was it in the front or is it the back? I mean, you'd really have to be, well, it's really hard to read. But there is a stitch diagram for the lace. Okay, just wanted to show, because this is, to me, this is where stitch diagrams make the most sense, is with lace. Because once you get into crossing cables, it becomes quite complicated. And if any of you've looked at the patterns for this design, this is Bonnie's woodland cabled wrap. And the new pattern, let me go ahead and, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about this, and then I'll get back to the chat. This was just released this week. This is on my watch.bonniebaecrochet.com site, which is doing very well. I mean, I hope you guys are finding what you need there. It's a streaming service, totally ad free, commercial free, spam free. I promise it's just straight up crochet. And if you're looking for additional resources, it's in the video description. You have to go look for them. It's not gonna stop your concentration, you know, midway through the video and try to sell you something. It's there in case you're looking for it. Like if you're looking for particular books or the supplies that I use, you can find them. But you know, all I'm saying is that I'm not hitting you over the head with it, you know, with commercials and stuff. But anyway, I wanted to show you this. This is up, and here is the center Saxon cable of this particular throw, and this is using Paintbox It's the yarn that's available from Lovecrafts, but you can use any acrylic that you would like. It takes 19 scans, I believe is what I used, and all the information is in the pattern. If you're not a watch subscriber, and also if you are a watch subscriber, the pattern, the written pattern, oops, that over there, is, as you know, is complimentary. So make sure that you download it from the site. If you're not a site subscriber, the watch subscriber, that's not a big deal. Um, I would encourage you to take a look at it if you can, because I think you'll find that it is a good value, because I do release patterns periodically, and where and when I can, the pattern is included. Now, this would be an exception. The Duel and Delight sweater wrap is an exception because I don't own the rights to this. They were sold to FNW Media back in 2014, and once you sell the rights, the copyrights and all that, the publication rights to a company, then they own the rights to them. So that's why I can't share that with you, um, if that makes sense. So anyway, so I hope I answered everything. Oh yeah, the pattern. The pattern is available in my Lovecraft store. And if you're not a subscriber, the pattern does include um, links so that you can view the video, video tutorial for the pattern. So it's not the ad-free video version, but it is a video that is as an unlisted link. It's, in other words, it's not a public link, and it's only available through the pattern, since the link is a part of the copyright, if that makes sense. So anyway, I'll get all that out. I'm just really excited about this, and I'm working hard to bring another design as soon as I can, although I want to make sure that it's up to snuff and looking really really well on paper before I do. But hopefully, oh, we just got somebody just donated $15. Thank you so much. Uh, so how close are we to a song? Tracy wants to know. Okay, Tracy, we were at about 30, I think it was $30 last week. So that would bring us up to about 45. Okay. Um, and what Tracy is talking about, um, there's something called super chat, and I'm not pushing this hard at all, but this is something that has been activated on my YouTube channel. And what happens is, a lot of times this is used to help encourage, creators. And so what I've decided to do is whenever we get the super chat, whenever we reach $100 goal, then I will play a song for you, usually a parody song that I've kind of ruined with crochet fiber words. and and then also donating that money to a charitable organization. And we've been using Shriners Hospital for Children has been the primary one that I focused on, because of a number of people in our chat, who've benefited tremendously from free medical service at this center. So anyway, just to inform you all, again, never pressure on from me on this in any way. All right, so let's see. I am way behind here, so I'm going to just try to jump in and say hey to folks where I can. We have Donnie and Lisa Pittman. Hey, Donnie and Lisa. And let's see, Lynn Morris from Quebec, Canada. She says, hope everyone is doing well. Okay, I got another question coming in from Hannah. Stuntles Design would like to know if they can buy your books in a PDF. I believe that is available, but you would have to, I think Penguin you may be able to do that. I think Amazon may have this in a PDF. If you're looking for, I almost hesitate to say this, but if you're looking for a special gift and you want one autographed by me, I do have some in my Etsy store. But quite frankly, I can't afford to sell them for the same price as Amazon. Currently, I'm selling these for $24.95, and I'm covering shipping. Shipping is on me. Amazon, I believe they were around 17.99 or something like that. So if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can get it a lot cheaper there, and maybe even a lot faster too, since they have they have connections that I don't have as far as the post office goes and mailing and all. But I do have about 9 of these available right now. I probably should order some more. But I do have some in my Etsy store. And again, they should have plenty on Amazon. And I'm pretty sure Amazon has the PDF. So I hope that answers your question. That's a great question. And thanks Hannah for sending that. Let's see. And Mabel says, "Happy to be here on such a beautiful day with such a lovely." Oh, how sweet, Mabel! Thank you. That's so, you guys are so sweet. And Cheryl McBride is in the chat, and Tracy, thank you, Tracy. She likes my show. And we have Paula Adams. She says, "Ooh, dark and cold here in Alaska." Oh my goodness, Paula. Whew, I would love to go there and see those northern lights someday. I still haven't seen those, but stay warm. I understand you don't get much sunshine during this time of the year, so I need to stop fussing about the gray days here. Wow. Um, and let's see, Leon is in the chat from the Isle of Wight in the UK. Whoa. I love going to the UK. I only been there once, but I loved it. And yeah, Sandra, she says from the UK, love your channel and projects. Thank you, Sandra. And Rhonda's What's on the Hook says, "Hi, everybody. Getting ready to leave for a doctor appointment." Once she said, "Saw you pop up and wanted to say hello. Been a while. So if I leave, you know why." I hope everything's okay, Rhonda. Uh, I got one of those appointments coming up too, just to check up, make sure everything's going well. And Diana from Ohio says, "I'm working overtime. I really can't chat much today." Well, Diana, sorry, you probably are gone already, but thanks for joining us nonetheless. And Francis says it's Saturday morning there. Wow, Francis, you're up late, girl. And Jan says it's 15 degrees Fahrenheit in Illinois, and we had an ice storm yesterday. Yee. Jan, my old high school band director lives in your state, Kenneth Jarek. Wonderful guy. I can't talk about him because I just think of all the great things he did for the ragtag bunch of kids that he led back in the old days in Hialeah. He did so much for us. Gave us experiences. Here I go. Gave us experiences that we never would have had. I mean, he just had a vision. Instead of lining up trophies on the shelf that we would never see again, he gave us experiences like traveling to Madrid, Spain, and traveling to Mexico City, and seeing the mountains in Tennessee. And great guy, forward thinker. It wasn't just about the music; it was about so much else in those band days. We have Patsy. She says, "Heidi ho, neighbors, Illinois soup day here." Oh boy. And let's see. Cheryl McBride says, "Illinois here and frigid temps this weekend." Wow. And Brenda Young says, "Hi from New Hampshire. Cold here and snowing." Ugh. Well, Brenda, send it down to my daughter Becky. She loves snow. Every time we tell them, post a picture of our house, "Oh, we got a lot of snow here today," she just starts crying because she misses the snow so much, or at least she pretends to cry. But anyway, um, she doesn't have to shovel it though. Um, neither did we actually, but anyhow. Um, Nina Saint would like to know if the yarn for your triangle shawl is in your Lovecraft shop, the purple and gray. If you know what brand and color you used. I'm not sure. Purple and gray. Okay, I guess for this one, no, I personally don't sell yarn. I can maybe point to where you could get it. But you can use any yarn with that. You can use any size yarn, I would just pick a yarn that you love and give it a try. This yarn that I use is actually discontinued, but you can buy mohair yarn at any store. Make sure it's like a lace weight. Any yarn store will have mohair yarn of some sort. So that shouldn't be a problem. Or let me show you. This is I showed this to you all last week, but here's another version. The same pattern, just different yarn. Um, Maybe a little bit different finish because I ran out of the yarn on that to add the finish on this, but you don't really need the last row. But anyway, this is more of a tinsel, kind of it's a cottony type yarn. It behaves a lot like cotton as far as the breathability. So really any yarn that you like, I would just suggest. These two yarns are not available anymore, that I'm aware of. So unfortunately, that's a lot of times that happens with yarn companies. It's not uncommon. When I first published this book back in, went to publication, went to press in 2014. Of course, I had worked on it for a couple years before even approaching the publisher. Approached the publisher, signed a contract in 2013. Took about a year for it to come out. And by the time it did, the yarn to this particular design on the very front cover had been discontinued. Unbelievable. Um, but yeah, and like the yarn that I used on this originally, it was discontinued. I mean, it's not uncommon for that to happen, but the good news is there are so many other great yarns that you can substitute. And I don't know if I mentioned, I probably did already, but I substituted for this, and I like the yarn even better than the acrylic. It's an acrylic wool blend. It's called Barocco Vintage DK, and as far as blends go, it's a very excellent blend, and that's pretty much what yarn yarn store local yarn store owner told me. And she's from Russia, the most knowledgeable person I've ever met about fiber in the world. I mean, I'm sure there are more knowledgeable people in the world that I just don't haven't met them yet. But as far as people I've met and talked with, she is it. She knows it all. As far as I'm concerned, walking into her store is like walking into a yarn encyclopedia. And I'm not exaggerating here. She has special rooms that just have, okay, this room is just all wool, or this room is just all noro yarn, or this yarn is all thread. This room is, I mean, it's as much yarn as that. And she says the Barocco vintage is one of her best as far as the blends go. Hold on one second. I hope that answered your question. I'm sorry, Nina, I couldn't answer you with a specific website or something to get the yarn, but if you want to email me at bonniebay@me.com, my email is in the video description below. And if you want a longer conversation on that, we can go back and forth, and I'll be glad to help you where I can. Okay. All right. Let's see, where are we? Yeah, Vicky in our chat from Southwest Virginia. And let's see, Pat Longway says she's working on 3 blankets. Wow, that sounds like fun.